Good evening. How is everyone tonight? It has been such a great day. It's rained on and off. It's been cloudy, it's been sunny, but I was out of my house doing the things that I love with my guy, and so grateful, so grateful that I had these opportunities to do these wonderful things in life as it presents itself. Sorry for the crazy hair. Ran around in Washington, Missouri today. And if you are in the Missouri area, St. Louis, take a run to Washington, Missouri. It's just an absolutely beautiful river town. We did lunch, saw a couple shops. It was just really, really nice. Went into my favorite coffee place there. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kitryn Marie, reside in St. Louis, Missouri, an artist, a writer, speaker, life, and a business coach. And, I love telling stories. That is one of my attributes, that I love to be able to reflect back and tell stories on how I grew up and the family members that influenced who I am and why I have become who I am. But as a business coach, I always like to ask my creative women, how long do you carry the same story, and how often do you want to tell it so people can connect to you or with you? In the past couple weeks, I turned 62. I've outlived now my mom and my dad. My grandma lived to be in her 80s. My Aunt Phyllis, who was mostly my mentor, she lived to be in her mid-60s. My pact with God is to live to be 116. My story, it varies. It has variations of it. And although I don't like to be very critical or very judgmental of my story, but because of all the things that have happened in my life, it has created the being that I am. And I think very many people in their life, they have a hard time accepting their story. They have a hard time adapting to the fact that that is what has made them and what has made them be either rigid, predictable, creative, stubborn, agitated. There's a whole gamut of action words that go along with what your persona is. I always say I am very creative. I see everything in a movie like. I was trying to explain that to my guy today. From little on, I created my reality because I did not like the situation that was given to me. My mom died at a very early age. My grandma and grandpa did the best they can with raising me and my sister. But I lived in this great creative world that helped self-soothe. And as I got to be, an adolescent, a teenager, a very young woman, living in that creative world helped me to create the individual that I am today. In my vision board class, I talk about, if you want something in this life, you need to speak it into existence. If you know that there is something that you are drawn to, you don't run the other way, you run to it, and you learn why you were drawn to so many things. As we were kind of meandering through Washington, Missouri today, it's both of us, we like the town in itself. It's a clean town, nice people, a little on the countryside, a little bit on the modern side, and progress and how things have grown. And again, in my creative vision board class, I ask all of my students, how much have you grown? What has been your progress? And when you go through these towns, you see the progress and you see the commerce, but that same thing applies to each individual when you're putting a business together, when you're trying to strengthen your relationships. Where's the progress? Have you seen the growth? Have you seen the things that have expanded on already who you are? with my creative mind. I have an imagination like you would not believe. I remember almost anything and everything, although I do say last year, because of so much stress that occurred, and due to some grief and a disillusion because of the economic situations that have been, impended on all of us. There was a great disassociation that I found, that I was just disconnecting from the things that were not really soothing me, really not serving me. And now that I'm back in full force, picking up where I left off, I am seeing it is, and I've always known this, but it is the individual in himself, herself, that holds yourself back. It is nobody's responsibility for you to be progressive. It is nobody's responsibility to get you on that next platform. It is nobody's responsibility to see you embark on better endeavors. I'm launching a new line of merchandise next month. I want to get back to my totes, to my kitchenwares, to my graphic tees, to my graphic mugs. I want to start a line of tattered t-shirts. I want to reintroduce my jewelry on top of teaching all of my classes. That is one of my paintings up there. And I do have a filter, so I don't know how much you are really actually able to see. The lighting is better with this filter that I'm using. But, I teach art classes. I teach how to not only put a vision board together, but I teach creative painting. I teach floral wreath making. I teach jewelry. I teach a whole bunch of different art classes. I want to get back into my cooking. I want to look for a line of a food product or a wine product or liquor that that I can endorse with the classes that I'm teaching. To be an influencer, let me just say this as a business coach, to be an influencer, you must like what you are speaking about. You must be able to connect to what it is that you are trying to sell, what you were trying to get somebody else to understand where you're coming from, choosing those great 5 bullet points, using the most descriptive words you can, describing why you like it, how it makes you feel. Is there color involved? Is there a scent involved? Is there a flavor involved? Is there a location, a destination that has to do with, whatever the product is? We just came back from a fabulous trip in Tennessee. As we were coming home, we stopped in Franklin, Tennessee, which is an absolute favorite place of mine to go back to now. Are you stuck in your reality? And is there a way you can change your reality to get you to the places that you need to be? I want to go back to Franklin. I want to go back to Gatlinburg. I want to go back to North Carolina. I want to go back to Pensacola. I want to go back to New Orleans. Those are places that I have been, where I am familiar with, but branching out into the unknown and being comfortable and not being afraid to take these chances, to make this change, to be progressive, so people can understand who I am, where they want to be with me, they want to take my courses, and they want to buy my merchandise. So as I am branching back out, as I am speaking a little bit more on telling the story, where you are right now, the story that happened to you 15 years ago, is it relevant to who you are now? Are you on the path where you need to be because of a story that happened 15 or 10 years ago? In 2013, I was diagnosed with an illness. I've lived with it. I have prospered with it. Came out of a horrible, broken relationship that I survived, where I never thought at that time I would. My life has become very charmed. I have been living a very blessed life. the things that I have outgrown and the things that I am still growing into, because that's what progress does. It moves you from one place into another. If you would like to learn more about who I am, I am Kitryn Marie, reside in St. Louis, Missouri, an artist, writer, speaker, a life and a business coach. You can just Google my name, Kitryn Marie. I show up all over. You can go to my website at kitryn-marie.weebly.com. You can find me on Facebook under KM Designs, A Writer's Mind. Find me on TikTok under Kitryn Magic Maker, again on Instagram and Pinterest as Kitryn Marie. I would love to hear from you. Please reach out at kitrynmarie@gmail.com if you're in the St. Louis, Missouri area and you would like to take one of my classes, any of my art classes, sign up for one of my business or life coaching classes. I would love to have you. For today, for tomorrow, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for all the wonderful things that do come into your life. Remember, fate does turn on a dime, and only you get to decide what side of that coin you want to live on. You take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.